What's up, everybody? It's Joey from Black Elbow, and I was thinking about doing a year in review. Black Elbow is a little over a year old now, and I kind of wanted to talk about just what it's been like starting a arm wrestling team and my own arm wrestling progression over the course of the year. Like, so much stuff has happened, and I wanted to open up about some of the inner workings of the team, some of my thought processes. I wanted to talk about some of my super matches. Maybe I'll put graphics up so you can see what I'm talking about. And it's going to be a really rambly video. I have no idea how long it's going to be, so we have that going. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, and what people are probably most interested in, is Noah and the Jamie match. So going into the year, we had this match established. Actually, let me rewind a little bit. So Black Elbow started with me, Rocky, this guy named Frank, and Noah, and Dalton, I guess. If you don't know them, basically they were on other teams, mainly the Compound. They got kicked out for random reasons, maybe good reasons in retrospect, but nonetheless, I wanted to practice with certain people, and I wasn't allowed to where I was, so I decided to make my own team so I could practice with whoever I wanted to. So that's essentially how it started. And a large part of kind of the catalyst was Noah had a left-hand match against Mika, and Mika is really fucking good, and I did not expect Noah to win that. He did win it, kind of weirdly, but he won it nonetheless. So I thought, okay, here's this dude, he doesn't train, he comes in, he beats this rising prospect. Let's build a team around him. So for the first like 4, 5, 6 months of Black Elbow, it was entirely kind of centered around Noah, because that's what I was interested in. The people I started the team with were also interested in that, and that's what we did. We drove like an hour to Duarte every other week, and we trained with him a lot. So we thought we had a ladder of people we were going to challenge and how we were going to do it. And the start was Jamie Sheldon. We thought that was a good match, very easy. He seemed like a washed up pro at the time, and we thought, okay, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna call him out for shits and giggles, see if he responds. I didn't expect him to, and he did. And then it didn't seem like the match was gonna happen, so I was like, okay, let's put some money on it. And then his friend came in, and anyway, so we got the match set for March, and that gave us a lot of time to prepare for it, and that we did. So some other stuff around there happened. Like, I think Noah got banned from a bunch of practice. Oh yeah. So Noah released that video of him talking shit. Then Derek Smith and fucking Brandon Allen and other teams didn't want us coming to their practices in Bruheim. So we were like, okay, fuck it. We're gonna embrace this kind of rebel mentality and go along with it, you know, because people are kind of being mean to us. And yeah. And I thought that video was very obviously anyway, that shit's in the past. It's okay. So anyway, so this Jamie match, we had a lot of time to prepare for it, and I was programming Noah's weights. I was using a powerlifting program to do that for him. That worked for me. It worked really well for him. It got him from like a 375 bench to a 405 bench in like a few weeks. That being said, we had another guy on our team. I don't know if he wants me to talk about him publicly, but he was really into pharmacology, like steroids and shit. And Noah's like, hey, I'm your guy. You can experiment on me. So during the ramp up to this match, he must have spent like almost $700 on steroids. Like, he was blasting everything. And that's like why we were so sure that we could put so much money on the match, because he was blasting everything. He was already really strong. He was like beating like really good pros. The only X factor was like the table time, the lack of experience. So then the match happened. Anyway, so then the match happened, and it was crazy. Like, Jamie really showed that you can't just walk in and not go up the rankings. You have to do your due diligence. You have to work your way up. Now, what kind of annoyed me is that some of our teammates were telling Noah that the reffing was bullshit. It's like, okay, even if the reffing was a bit off, you don't get 3-0'd because of bad reffing. You get 3-0'd because you weren't the guy to win that day. And I do believe that Noah might have been stronger in certain areas. They did an after poll, and I think Jamie said as much. But the gap, the experience gap, the technique gap, everything was just far too wide. The training and the cycle definitely got Noah to really high level, but after that, it really broke Noah's mentality. And it also, to some extent, broke our trust in him. Well, not trust, but like faith in him. Like, I wasn't so excited to drive 40 minutes down for the person that just lost me like a shit ton of money, because we bet that $1,000 on him. So but I tried not to show that to him. I tried being a good teammate and stuff, but I guess it like came out anyway. So but at that point, the team was kind of shifting from kind of this, how we started, which was this focus around Noah, to like this focus around Black Elbow was becoming established and stuff. And we mended things with the other practices, and that was pretty good. But Noah was getting jealous, Noah was getting upset, and he started shit talking teammates. He was becoming distant. He felt isolated, and that was that pretty much. I told him that he couldn't be doing that anymore, and he left the team. So that was basically the Noah cycle, or yeah, Noah cycle. The Noah saga. Yeah, it was interesting. It was sad because, like, I still think he could have been great, but he chose to do his own thing, and that's fine. He had a lot of pressure on him. So yeah, TLDR, for the Jamie match, I think it's really interesting. Noah was on a fucking shit ton of gear, by his own choice. We weren't pressuring him. He completely wanted to do it on his own. I was programming the weights for him, and his lifts fucking shot up, and he got really fucking strong. So strong, in fact, that like at a Bruheim months later, he was like, I don't know if Tony Tomlinson and Alan were letting him work, or if he actually was that strong, but I like to think that I got him strong enough in certain areas to go toe to toe with some of the big guys in California. So I'll take credit for that. But anyway, moving on. Now that I've pissed off everybody watching the video, just more broadly talking about Black Elbow, it's been a fucking journey this year. Not what I guess what did I expect starting a team? A lot of highs and lows. Like, some of the highs were having like almost 30 people at a practice and in our friend's backyard, in the middle of the week, no less, and having people wanting to show up on their own. And then some of the lows were legit having nobody show up to practice except like maybe 1 or 2 people like 3 hours late. So it's been up and down. There's been times I wanted to quit. I wanted to walk away. Not so much from arm wrestling, but like from just hosting a team, hosting practices every week. That makes your 7-day week go to a 6-day week. And that's a lot of commitment for something that isn't making money, isn't generating anything other than passion for a niche sport, you know? So, it's been, it's been interesting. I've learned a lot about responsibility, maturity. I really like it. I like it. I'm happy I did it in retrospect. But okay, moving on. Let's talk about some of my super matches that I've had this year. Okay, so super matches this year. Let's start. So I'll start this year I had a super match with Dalton at Noah's house. Dalton, for those of you who don't know, he started on the compound. He got kicked out because he had beef with Christian, whatever. He's like, he hovers around 150, 160 most. The dude has like competition levels of body fat year round. I don't think he's on any type of steroids, but I would not be surprised if I found out he was, because that dude is fucking jacked. So he was like a football player. He's 315 bench, really strong dude. And going into the match I had with Dalton, during practice pulls, I found that I could expose his weakness to pronation and stuff, but I didn't know what to expect really. I don't remember too much about this match, but I remember he just totally outclassed me with just raw power. He was just stronger than me in the side pressure lane. I got the first round on him because he wasn't ready for the go. I do remember having some problems with the reffing, because Noah was reffing and he didn't know what he was doing. But Dalton was definitely the stronger guy at that point, and I started my year with a loss right-handed to Dalton. I think maybe under different circumstances I could have beat him, but certainly not going forward. That definitely marked the point where Dalton exceeded me. Certain points in the year, I was stronger than him for whatever reason. I maybe had more rest, whatever else. But Dalton definitely had my number that day. Let me think, what was the next match? Okay, so the next match was against Cal. Cal, for those of you who don't know, he's 6'9", tallest arm wrestler in North America, probably. He was, like, from the jump, he was strong. But at this point, we had a right-handed match, and I never went all out on him because I was very cautious with him because he was tall. He had a problem with his collagen, some shit. So I didn't want to hit on him up to that point. So this match, like, I knew what was going to happen. I mean, at some points, his slow pull could pull through me. Apparently, before that match, Keanu and Leo said Cal pinned them. And I was like, really? Nah. Anyway, so I wasn't really scared. It was more like, okay, Cal, I'm going to take you to school. And that I did. But there was a crack that happened in his wrist during the third round of that match. And he didn't want to pull on his right. He said he got injured. To this day, he says he got injured. I don't know. Maybe. He knows better than I do, but I think it just arm wrestling popped me personally. But he didn't pull on his right for a couple months after that. But his left got really good because he was only doing table time with his left. He trained weights both right and left, but yeah, he was only a couple months in. It probably wasn't a good idea to do a super match anyway, but we were like super enthusiastic, so that was pretty fun. Other than him getting injured, so that was that match. I also want to talk a bit about my training during this period. At this point, this was like towards the beginning of the year. I'll probably put a date up somewhere when the match happened if I can be bothered to do that. So when this match happened, in the Dalton match, I was completely focused on the team's investment into Noah and trying to make sure he was as strong as possible. So all of my training was definitely a side note. And like, I was spending a lot of time doing arm wrestling stuff. I was on a gap year. So I had a lot of free time to just do whatever I want. But kind of at this point, I was realizing during practice and stuff that I was getting like pretty decent by my standard. Things that weren't clicking and my newbiness was starting to wear off. So I was starting to get more interested in like my own career pulling. So I was starting to give that more attention, and we can see that going into the next super match. I had 2 super matches. So on this day, it was with Cal, left hand. Oh, wait. I like the week. So I was hyping up a match with Cal. This was on left hand, and I was at his house for whatever reason, like a few days before the match was set to take place. And we were like, hey, fuck it. Let's do the match now. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. So that happened. And I 3-0'd him, pretty easily. That so much wasn't the one I want to talk about, so I'm going to gloss over that briefly. But right after that, when the match was actually supposed to take place, we did it again. So that's like 2 of the same match within 1 week, because he was like, let's run it back. So I was like, fuck it, let's run it back. So we did the match again, and we discovered during our first match that he had a lane that he could possibly beat me. In a slow pull, he was definitely like fucking me up at that point, but I was just too fast in my technique and manipulating the ref and all that. Like it was too much for him, but he did get a really nice win inside the strap. At that point, I was like convinced I was the strap hack master. I was doing that thing that Dallas Langston does where he gets all low and shit. And but he got me in the strap, and he got me good. So that was interesting, but I was able to bring it back. And that was when I yelled in his face, and he told me after, I wanted to punch you in the face when he did that. And you can see it on his face. It was good. So yeah, I like that. And then I had a match with Rocky that day too. I wasn't supposed to have a match with Rocky. There was 2 other people I was supposed to have a match with first. The first one, I think his name is Edward. I'll show a picture or whatever, but he flaked last second. I was prepared for that because that was one I wanted to do. And then I was like, okay, I'll go against Bashir. But Bashir didn't want to do it either. I don't know if he didn't want to do it or if he was just super late to practice, but I knew I'd probably lose against Bashir, but I was feeling so strong that day that I was ready for whatever. But then Rocky stepped up, and Rocky was fucked, and he knew it. And I mopped the floor with him, not as quickly as I would have wanted to, because there's that first one where he flop wrist, and he really committed to that flop wrist. And we were stuck in the center there, and I was almost a teensy bit scared, but it worked out fine. The 2 rounds after, got him in the strap. Really slow. Like, this is what I'm disappointed with. If I win a match, that's good, but if it's just like this really slow top roll that I do, it bothers me after. I really like the flashy fucking hits, and if you're wondering, I'm making this video right after I edited that compilation. So I like it. Like, there's a match that I have against Danny, which I'll talk about later, and a match that I have against Leo, where I just get these like really quick, like flashy pins. I fucking live for those, you know. That's why I do it. But against Rocky, even though he was like significantly lower, like compared to me in the arm wrestling department, that's a fucking weird way to say that. I did not pin him as fast as I wanted to, so just wanted to check the order of some of the matches. And I had the Leo match before the Danny match, so at the point where I faced Leo, I changed up my training a bit. I stopped pulling hard every practice session, every table time. I just focused on doing statics, where I just sit in the center with someone and just like go rah. And I did speed work where one person lets the other hit from certain positions. So that's all I did. I didn't do that specifically for the Leo match. I forget why I did that. I think I was just experimenting with something someone on Reddit said or some shit like that. But so I changed that up, and I felt really good. My lifts were going up. I forget what I was. I think during this time I was doing a little bit of everything. Yeah, like a little bit of everything. I didn't really find my groove yet. But my lifts were progressing, the ones that I was doing at the time. And up to this point, this was my third match with Leo. My first match with Leo, he got me in the first couple of rounds, then I came back and beat him. My second match with Leo, I got him in the first round, and he came back and just completely fucking destroyed me. And at this point, when I had the match with him, he was so fucking strong, like ridiculously strong. And I didn't expect to beat it. I kind of expected this would be his last time beating me, and then we don't have to do the match again. Because, like, this is the point. Because he started arm wrestling after I did. So I kind of had, like, 1 year on him. So I was just kind of doing these matches with him to see when he would overtake me. But we did it for the third time. Sorry, is someone behind me? No, I'm good. We did this match for the third time, and we also wanted to try out a point system. And I had notes of exactly what I was going to do to beat him. I had like 3 different like protocols. Like, if this doesn't work, I'm going to try this. I think my first thing was like, go fast, top roll, get in the strap. Because like this entire year and to this day, I train only in the strap. If you train in the strap, you feel more comfortable in it, I think. But some days I feel better without it, but I only train with it, so I don't fucking know what's going on there. But my goal was try to pin. If I don't pin, slip. Then top roll hard as fuck in the strap. And then my second thing I would do is like shoot up into a hook and like pin him. I'll probably paste the notes I had, to be honest. I don't remember exactly what order they were. Then my last one was like a desperation press or some shit like that. Turns out I didn't have to use any of those. I just fucking flashed them right away. I flashed them like 8 or 7 times. Now, that being said, I think he was pulling right before the match. And then I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're supposed to have a match. He was like, oh. But that being said, I think he was not ready for that super match. And I don't know. I never asked. I never talked to them about it. But I don't want to know. I want that win to be mine. But I have a sneaking suspicion that Leo might not have been trying or something. I don't know. But I don't know. Because he could be really fucking strong, you know. So I never really got to enjoy that victory because I don't know. We might run it back. I don't know. But he's so fucking strong. I don't know. Anyway, so then the next match happened. And this was my comeback to Bruheim. I was really nervous for this match, but I was also like really fucking strong. And Westside was mean to me, and I was like, all right, fuck this. I'm gonna fart. But the person I had the super match with was Danny, and Danny is super fucking nice to me. So, I never want to say anything negative about him. But we agreed to a super match, and from my intel, also, like, when I talk about these matches, I don't mean to put anybody down or anything like that. I'm just giving my thoughts on the matter, completely transparent. If it offends anybody, oh well. So anyway, so this Danny match, at first I wasn't really worried about it. I was feeling really fucking strong because I was doing that thing where I was using table time as basically another workout. It wasn't table time where your fucking arms get fucking destroyed. It was just another workout, basically. and I was feeling so juicy strong, you know. And then Keanu, I think, pulled Danny a week prior, and he was like, dude, you fucking got him. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And I think I pulled, like, was it a Bruheim before that? I don't remember, but, like, from what I could tell, I was pretty fucking strong. Excuse me. So, but, like, 48 hours leading to the match, I was like, I don't know, last time I pulled him, he was really fucking strong, and I don't know. And then, like the day of, like, a few hours before, I was, like, pacing in my backyard. I was like, dude, I think, like, if I lost, like, I understand how that could be now, because he's, like, really strong. I don't know, and maybe, I don't know. So, so we get there, and I'm, like, talking to him before the match. I was like, dude, I'm fucking nervous as hell. This is, like, my first time doing a match like this. He's like, dude, me too. I'm nervous too. I was like, okay, dude, good luck. And we had the match. The first round, we slipped, went to the strap. He was super sticky. I have no idea how the fuck I pressed through him. But I did. I have no fucking clue how that happened. And after that, I think he got tired or something. I mean, he told me he didn't really train that much, so that's definitely probably why. Because I was training, like, every single fucking day. I was doing this series, like, arm wrestling, everyday era or some bullshit. So, yeah, if he would have trained, I think it would have been a closer match, but I was, like, really fucking good then. I think if we were to rematch, he would give me a lot more, but I don't know how much he's been training, so... but that really boosted my confidence because I was feeling really strong. So, yeah, I'm going to say so. So, I think after the Danny, I'll do corrections after. I'll fucking look into it. So, after the Danny match, I was getting ready for the UAL tournament in Anaheim. And that one I've been preparing for a while. It was like 2 miles down the street from my house. So, that was the tournament where I was like, okay, I'm gonna prove to these other teams that I'm, like, a legitimate captain and I know what I'm doing. And I was planning on getting first place so that I could make my pro debut soon. It's dry. Anyway, so leading up to that, what did I do? I was a little overweight. I was debating on doing a slow cut or a water cut. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. I mainly focused on 2 lifts. And these 2 lifts, in my opinion, are probably some of the best lifts you could do for arm wrestling. If you're getting stronger in these lifts, you're getting stronger at arm wrestling. And these are like I did the Candido strength program for these 2 lifts. Or did I do Smolov? Did I do Smolov bench and then Candido the lifts? Yeah. I did Smolov bench 13 weeks out. Like 2 cycles. Anyway, my bench shot up like 20 pounds. I went from like 225 to 240-ish? 250 almost? I don't know. I don't bench anymore. I don't fucking know. So I was doing that. I was doing these 2 arm wrestling lifts. I was really focused. I was doing no table. Like, I was doing the same thing with table time, but I stopped doing my table time experiment because Bruheim would make me so sore that I couldn't lift the week after because I was going to Bruheim's again. So I was like, okay, well, I want to go to Bruheim, and if I go to Bruheim, I'm going to get really sore, and my lifts are going to suffer, even though I'm doing JM presses and all of that shit. And I want to be able to do well at Bruheim to represent. But I'm not doing table time, so my table endurance is shot, even though I was doing better than I ever did. So I regret, like, not keeping up with my experiment. But I started doing more table time. And we were getting, like, more members too, so it was a really neat time. Yeah, I was preparing for the tournament. I was doing the lifts. I like to take my creatine in cycles. I don't take it year round. It's probably stupid, but anyway, I took my creatine. I started taking ashwagandha, this specific strain of ashwagandha. Really helped me out. And I was just like, I was a maniac. My lifts went fucking insane. I blew the program out of the water. And I was ready. I was ready for that tournament. So tournament day comes. I'm on the toilet shitting my fucking brains out the day of the tournament, nervous as hell. And I'm like, nah, I'm not even gonna fucking do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not feeling well. I'm not gonna do it. But I somehow, by like some miracle, get to the tournament. I'm like pacing around, because my fucking stomach hurts, and I'm like, oh, come on, I gotta fucking pull the tournament. So going into this tournament, I was worried. Who was I worried about? Oh yeah, two people on Alpha Empire, Isai and Josh, because they told me that they were both gonna make my weight class. I know Josh said he would. And up to that point, I think me and Josh were pretty even. So I was like, okay. During my training, I was like, I gotta get strong enough to beat these guys. So, I get to the tournament, I see Josh, I see Marshall, and I see Isai. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like my stomach hurt, and I see like Josh and Isai, and I know that if they're in my weight class, my stomach was hurting, so I don't like my chances. But Josh was like, yo, what's up, Joey? What do you weigh? And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, oh, I weigh 185. And he was like, oh, no way. I was like, what? Did you make it? And he was like, ah, no. And I was like, oh, thank goodness I don't have to pull that fucking dude. And he was like, but Marshall did. And I was like, what? Fucking Marshall made fucking 185? That dude's like 6'5". How the fuck did he make 185? Did he like only step on it with one leg? Like, what the fuck? So I was like, oh, okay. And like a month before that, I pulled Marshall at Bruheim or some shit. And I had a little bit for him inside, but if he wanted to, he could do whatever he wanted with me. So I was like, oh, great. Well, hopefully I got strong enough to maybe give him something. So the tournament happens. And my stomach calmed down eventually by the time it was like we were pulling. So my first match, I think the guy was from San Diego. I apologize, but I've never seen him before or pulled against him before. I loaded up very loosely in the setup and just hit off a go perfect. I think he was like loading a little, and I just did not load at all. And I think he was a little surprised. He might have been new, I don't know. But yeah, I took him pretty easily. So that got the jitters out. I was like, oh shit. Because normally when I go to tournaments, I fucking go that way. But this time I went that way. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. Also, I didn't do left hand because my right just felt really connected. So I was like, you know what? Save $40. Do right hand. Fuck it. Anyway, so got that first guy. And that got some of the nerves out, but I was still nervous. There was some compound guys. At this point, me and Christian were still kind of like, so I wanted to shit on, I wanted to face the compound guys because I was really strong, and I knew I could beat them. So, but I didn't. So anyway, I faced Ed from West Side, and we have that, not famous, but we have that match where I'm like, right, Ed, come on. And I was like, okay, it's time to do it again. But this time I was confident I was gonna beat him because I got so much stronger. And slipped, went to the strap. I felt pretty good in the strap. He was doing the Dallas thing too. And who's the ref? What's his name? I think Alex De La Torre was reffing, and he was like, come on, guys, what the fuck? And it's like, nah, it's okay. We're doing the strap hacks. And he's like, okay, whatever. So I felt really comfortable. I was just like smiling the whole time. Go, my back pressure, straight to the pad. Felt really good. yeah, I just got a lot stronger. And Ed told me he hadn't been really training for a couple months, so just table time. So, and I was training every day, so that's what did it. My next match was against Phil from OC Arms. That guy is strong as shit. But I was pinning him. I was going back and forth with him at Bruheim. I think I was a little stronger than him like a month or so before. So I was feeling like I was like, ooh, yay. But I got a little overconfident, and we go outside of the strap. He takes like he takes my hand or some shit, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta bail out. So I bail out, and then I look at Bill, and I kind of like smile like, ooh, I hope they don't foul me out for intentionally slipping. And then they don't, which was like really surprising. Because any other time I would have got it. I don't know. I'm really happy I didn't get fouled out. I probably should have. We go again, and I make an adjustment, and I get him. And he's like, oh yeah, he got me. And I kind of feel bad about that, but I'm really happy I won that. His hook, like I felt that. I was like, oh shit, nope. So went out, got more coverage, bang. And then my next match, I had Marshall. Outside of the strap, I felt pretty good. I was like, holy shit, am I gonna take this whole thing? Did I get that strong? My stomach was like totally calm. So we get to the strap, and I'm like, oh, it's the strap. This is what I train in. But I don't know if I like in the strap I started loading, but like half loading. It was kind of dumb. And Marshall had a longer lever, and I felt like in the strap like super uncomfortable. And he just fucking went straight through me, and I was like, oh fuck. Well, there goes that. I don't know why I tried to top roll the dude with a longer lever than me, but you know, it is what it is. So then I had to face this Kareem guy, I think his name is. He's Armenian. I think he trains with Vozgen or some shit. I've also heard that he's been pulling for 10 years, and he pulled the pro class at the Chance Shaw event that happened prior to that. So, whatever. Foreign people are just fucking monsters at arm wrestling. It was the semifinals. So once I found out I already had a medal, I also like kind of relaxed a little bit. I don't know why it wasn't the top 4 that were in the finals. It was the top 3. That doesn't make too much sense to me, but man, fuck it. A free medal, I guess. Oh shit, I accidentally opened it. Oops. Anyway, so I grip up with this guy, I go to the strap, and I'm like, maybe I got him in the strap. I strap hacked him, felt like I had everything. He just like gets me in a hook. He felt a little awkward. I felt like I had a little something, but I wasn't committing inside. I should have committed inside. I should have committed to the hook, but I was hitting out because that worked previously. But he like adjusted, just went through me. I was like, fuck. So he got me. I was out of the tournament, but it was my first time ever getting a medal in an arm wrestling competition. So I was really happy about that. So yeah, that was my first arm wrestling tournament. Moving on, I think I have like 2 more super matches of note to cover. I think at some point before that I had a super match with Tyler. I'll just summarize that really quickly. Tyler, at that point, he was starting to beat me in practice pulls. But it was similar to Cal, where here's this dude that's like either has crazy genetics or in the case of Tyler, crazy genetics, but like fucking 765 deadlift, fucking 400-pound bench, like crazy fucking lifts. But he had, not the biggest frame. So, and I never really like hit on him. So this was like, I was telling him, I think I got in his head. I was like, hey, like, I've never really tried against you. This is my first time going all out. And he was like, oh shit. So we get to this match, and similar to the Rocky match, like I was beating him. He was probably stronger than me, like strength, but his technique was just really bad, and his speed was really bad, and he was nervous. So Similar to the Rocky match that disappointed me. Like, I was beating him, but it was so slow, and I wanted to beat him a lot faster. Like, I always want that perfection over the win, kind of like Todd Hutchings. So, but I beat him. We'll have a rematch. Anyway, so that was the Tyler match. I think that happened before the tournament, I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure. But that one, yeah. Anyway, so the two matches I want to talk about are both left-hand matches that happened after the tournament. We have a Cal left-hand match and a Quinn left-hand match. And my training shifted after the tournament. I did more weights, but less structured. So I was just hitting them to hit them. I was doing a bodybuilding program for my arms, and I started pulling like 4 to 5 times a week. That was not a good idea because I was just not getting enough recovery. For the first time ever, I was not recovering from what I was putting out. So, and we can see that with the results of my matches. Not an excuse at all. Like, the people that beat me, they beat me, you know. For the Cal match, that was like a week or two before the Quinn match. I was pretty sure I'd beat him. Like, I improved a lot from the last time I had a match with him. The only difference is I was just pulling more frequently. I didn't take very much time at all off for that match because I was just too preoccupied with training. And what happened there? I did not feel comfortable getting into certain spots with him. He felt like really like in practice pulls prior to that, he was smoking me. So, but my thing is speed. My thing is speed and experience. So my left just couldn't get into the lanes that I wanted it to. I attribute it to focusing on my right more, but my left just didn't feel connected. I think if that match happened right hand, I would have won, if he wasn't injured on right. But left hand, it just didn't feel right. I did scrape out a win, but I expected very different. And from that point, his left has just skyrocketed to one of the best in our club. So that was that match. The main difference was I wasn't taking creatine after the tournament. I completely changed up my habits, and I was definitely overtrained. Stemming from that, like a week later, I had a match with Quinn. And I pulled Quinn 2 months prior to our match. Everybody I talked to, everybody thought I was going to beat him. He was the heavy underdog. I was super confident I was going to beat him. Like, this is the first time I was like, yeah, like, I didn't have a doubt. So, I cut fucking 10 pounds, like, the week of our match just because I had a plan to cut the weight anyway. And I was like, I probably got him anyway. So I cut 10 pounds. And then the day of our match, I was like 2 hours late because I was on the toilet because I have IBS and I was fucking acting up. And Quinn calls me while I'm on the toilet. He's like, get the fuck over here. And I was like, oh, fuck. Do I cancel? What do I do? I was like, okay. I fucking go straight from the toilet all the way to the match. Have the match. What happened there? I felt like I wasn't in the zone. I felt out of it for sure. Quinn was starting so fucking close to his shoulder that I don't know. Like, I felt out of it. I didn't know, like, I wanted somebody in my corner, but I didn't really have anybody in my corner. And I just felt kind of lost because I wasn't really sure what Quinn was doing. And I know Christian Zepeda, like, was coaching Quinn prior to that to tell him exactly what to do to beat me, and it worked. The match was 2-3. He beat me. Yeah, and at that point I'm like, okay, I don't want to fucking pull on my left anymore competitively because I'm just gonna disappoint myself, and like, people are gonna get the wrong idea, you know. So that was that. I'm still going to train my left, and it's going to be the party arm. I'm just going to be competitive with the right. So, yeah, I very much overestimated fucking underestimated Quinn and overestimated my ability. And at that point, like, I was pulling so much that the fatigue was definitely, not to make excuses or anything. This is just like me thinking to myself, what went wrong there. So that was that. And that leads us to where we are now. The key points that I take away from this year are, number one, you can only control yourself. Don't put stock into fucking other people, because they just let you down. So Noah. So now I'm just gonna be focusing on my own growth and making sure that everybody that is, behaving properly, has a comfortable spot on the team. The other thing is, I'm re-experimenting with the, like, no hard table time again. Like, I'll maybe do 1 or 2 strong pulls, and I'm also, like, doing structured lifts. I'm experimenting with more cardio, and we'll see how that goes. It's not more detailed than that. I'm doing the Candido program for the weights again, because that worked last time. Now it's, I'll admit, a little harder, because I'm not blasting through the weeks like I did before. Now it's actually challenging. Table time, it's so hard to not just pull. It's so hard because my personality is talking shit and fucking with the guys, but you gotta be very disciplined to do like 1 or 2 pulls. So if like someone special is at practice, I'll go hard on them, but if not, I'm gonna just do center work and dynamic fucking pins, pronate, drills, that type of shit. And that makes me sad because that makes fucking practice a real chore. But hey, whatever it takes. So my plan going forward, I'll talk a bit about my future matches and goals. So I'm pulling the Chris Kringle pull, whatever. I didn't originally want to. I want to take a year in between tournaments to measure my progress. But Christian, we mended things and he wanted me to pull it, so I'll be a friend. I'll go there. I'll try to bring some Black Elbow people there, donate toys. That'll be good. I think my arm, it's so exhausted from that time period where I was pulling like 5 days a week and doing weightlifting. Like, that was ridiculous. I hope it's recovered in time. I really hope it is, because I've been putting a lot of effort into it. My lifts are at an all-time high. I predict that I'll take first. I'm only competing right hand. I'm competing 185 amateur. I hope. I think I'll take first. The people I'm worried about, obviously, if that Kareem dude chooses not to pull pro again and pulls fucking amateur, I don't know if I don't know what to do against him, so hopefully he's not there. If Marshall's there, I think I'd try to load up and go inside with him. Maybe I could press him quick and maybe get a sneaky win off him, but if he's there, I probably don't beat him ever. But I'm predicting that those guys don't go. Maybe they do. And I think the main person I'm worried about there is the host of the event, Travis. I slowed pulled him and he realized he's stronger than me, and it's like, fuck, so now he's gonna be confident going into a fucking match with me. But I think my setup, I think my strength in specific lanes, I think I'm gonna be too much for him. So as long as Marshall and that other guy that beat me in the previous tournament don't show up to this one, I think I will take first, and that'll be my first time taking first, and it'll also be my last amateur tournament if I take first, because maybe not. It's not like a big tournament. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. And then I have scheduled a super match January 1st, as long as I don't break my arm at the tournament, with Warren, right hand. Warren from the compound. I've practiced with him before. I seem to get him in the top roll, but I don't know if he's always not fresh. I don't know what the deal is. I'm never gonna fucking underestimate him again. He has a very fucking, or not him, but like anybody. He has a very strong press. He has really good inside. So game plan, keep him out of that, go really fast. He also told me he's going to start lifting weights for the first time. So we'll see if he levels up. I don't know. But yeah, that match I'm looking forward to. After that, I'm going to have a right hand rematch with Cal. I'm going to shit on. There's no way he fucking beats my right. My left, he beat me because, you know, not connected. But my right, I just feel so fucking good about this thing. I'm going to shit on him. Even though he's a heavyweight, even though he's going to be super fresh because he took a 3-month break because he's in Wales right now, I'm going to fucking shit on his right. Like, I don't have a doubt in my mind, believe me. So, yeah. And then I have a match at some point with Tyler, a rematch. He's getting really fucking strong on the table. I think he might be the strongest person on the team. Just raw power. The problem is he fucking sucks at technique. And I think I'm just going to expose him, show him, hey, like you always train. You aren't nice to people in the practice polls, so you take everything. In a super match, you don't get that. And I'm going to fucking take you to Pound Town. So it's going to be a while before he beats me. So I have that scheduled. Other people, my goals, obviously to take first in some amateur tournament before I graduate to pros. Pros in the 185 class are completely fucked. You have Ole Mosley, or Mosley? I don't know. You have that guy who's a fucking just beast, and you have Reg, also my buddy Bashir, but he hasn't debuted yet. So Reg is really fucking strong. So 165 pros, I think I definitely would be able to do that. That was my original plan, but I am not making that weight cut anymore. I am just too much quality muscle. So I'm going to stick to the 185s. I don't think next year I'll be dipping into the pros. They're just 185 pros are too good. I mean, Reg takes overalls and he's 185. So I'm not beating that guy, but maybe at a smaller tournament, I might do well. So yeah, I want to just take an amateur tournament. I'm not going to rush into pros. I might pull Arizona State. I might pull PAL Las Vegas, and I might pull the Fit Expos in California, but I'm not sure on any of those yet. And two people that are also on my radar. I really should take a break super matching. Oh my god, I keep fucking jump scaring myself because I hit the fucking windows, jeepers. Anyway, I really should take a break super matching because my fucking arm is tired. I want a break. I haven't had a break from arm wrestling since I started this team, and I'm fucking exhausted, man. But I'm probably, like, if I'm there, I'm gonna super match. I can't help myself. So I think Ed might be getting ready to, I'm not going to butcher his last name, but Ed from West Side, I think he wants his revenge. I think that might be a super match. I think he's training, so I'm getting ready for that. I saw him shit on Quinn right-handed after I got shit on by him left-handed, so I'm prepared for him to call me out on that one. And Keanu English of my team, since I started arm wrestling, he's been my arm wrestling nemesis. I want to fucking beat him. That's why I do this sport. That's the whole reason I do it. I started, he was interested in it first. I wanted to beat him, and I've chased him all the way to the gates of the pro class, and I don't even care about that. I just want to beat Keanu English, but that guy's fucking strong. I almost caught up to him this year, but then he fucking ballooned in strength out of nowhere. So I got a lot more work to do, but hopefully I catch him this year. I don't know. We'll see. That's like my ultimate overarching goal, but that's kind of it. In terms of the team, it's growing really steadily. I'm not even doing anything. I feel kind of guilty. I think I'll put more effort into organizing stuff. I might host a tournament, probably get the groundwork down for 2025. And some other things I'm working on are a supplement line for Black Elbow. That's loose. And some equipment maybe. through Black Elbow to monetize it and make it profitable. Maybe one day we'll have a Black Elbow gym, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I don't think I'm skipping over anything. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, but yeah, those are that's a year arm wrestling. It's interesting. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, thanks for watching.
Michael is running, his house is 3 blocks away. Adrenaline compensating for changing age since the last time that he ran. And goddammit, Mike knows he gotta get home fast as he can. Looks up and the sky glows familiar, knows those families died with similar awnings. And on he keeps going. Hits the corner just as he hears the explosion. Screams come from the house, did you get them out? Mike asking the crowd that has gathered round. Tears running down his face, there's that familiar taste. He wishes it would take him to another place. Son and his baby girl in his home, and he can't believe that it's gone in a cloud of smoke. And he's choking and running forward and hoping against hope that he might find them alive and well. But he knows the results too well, and he knows that he fooled himself, and he keeps walking towards the house. Rather, what house is still left? No intention of stopping, letting the smoke take his breath. Some strong arm knocks him aside. Mike falls to the ground and cries, why won't you just let me die? Why won't you just let me die?